Court is now in session. Case number 1 on the docket is Correale versus Rogers. It's a question of who owns a baseball and a question of fan violence at a baseball game. Now, you both have agreed, and I saw a very short video of what happened in the stands, but you're both under oath, and I need to hear it from you now. So I'm going to turn to you. You're the plaintiff, and you're suing Mr. Correale. Mr. Correale, normally we don't wear hats in the courtroom, so you want to take your hat off.
Phillies.
Yeah, we don't usually wear Philly shirts either. I'll tell you what, let's get this over with. Go ahead, tell me your story. I see you have a baseball glove. Let's hear your story. Do you play baseball? Or?
I'm a big Phillies fan.
You're not on the Phillies?
Wish I was.
Okay.
Wish I was.
Tell me what happened on the night in question. You were at a baseball game and...
We're at a baseball game down at Citizens Bank Park. And I'm sitting in a standing room only.
Speak up because I'm having trouble hearing.
Mike Schmidt's playing. Everybody's waiting, hitting a good home run. The ball's coming my way. Get ready. Here, it hits the glove. It comes out of the glove, and I get bombarded by people. I get thrown to the ground, and it's out of my hand.
Well, lots of baseballs go in the stand. Why was it so important you caught Mike Schmidt's ball?
This was important. This was from the legend. This was it. This was
the ball that was going to break a record?
This was the breaking. Yeah, this was breaking the record. This was hit from the legend.
So you were going to make a lot of money on that ball?
Absolutely, absolutely, Your Honor.
Well, you caught it? I
did.
Well, if you caught it, then why don't you have it?
It came out of my hand. I was bombarded by all these fans, and it fell out of the glove.
Well, you have a glove.
Right here. It's the same glove.
All right, and you've played baseball, apparently.
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
You didn't catch the ball.
It was in my glove, Your Honor.
Show me.
It was in there, and it just fell. I was just bombarded by people. I was thrown to the ground, and I lost the ball.
Well, when you lost the ball, did you see where it went?
It rolled, and the next thing I know,
I never saw you that.
Mr. Rogers had.
You'll get your turn. All right. So you had to go up to the management office, but you weren't invited, right?
I had to go up to the management office, yes.
And what did they tell you?
They escorted Mr. Rogers up there with the ball. They put the ball in a safe, told me I couldn't have it, it wasn't mine. I was all upset about this.
So you saw the ball roll?
Yes.
And you saw him pick it up?
Correct.
I'm still not clear, like, where you were standing. How did you pick where you were standing?
The only available seats that they had left was standing room only. Mike Schmidt's known to always hit the ball going toward that way. For a while, I got the tickets at a good price. I got lucky. And here, Mike Schmidt hit the ball, and it was coming right at me where I caught it.
Did you ever catch a ball before? You played baseball, right?
I did. But, Your Honor, catching a baseball before, I was bum rushed by all these people. I was tackled.
Would you call it, like, fan violence?
I don't know what to really call it, Your Honor. It was just,
I saw a little bit on the video. I saw you were jostled, all right?
Correct.
But I'm still not clear on, if you have a glove, how you don't, you said you caught it, but you don't have the ball.
That's what I'm upset about, Your Honor. It was in my glove.
Okay, so we're clear, you brought the lawsuit.
Correct.
Because you want the ball back.
Absolutely.
And from what I understand, the ball is being given to the defendant, but he hasn't sold it yet under court order.
Correct.
All right, well, if I would rule your way, then what about a hunter that's out trying to get hunting an animal, a wild animal, all right? And you're after that wild animal, but you don't completely control it. And somebody else comes and shoots that animal. it would really be their animal, right? Or would it be yours? See, the problem is you didn't control the ball. Or do you think you did?
I think I did, Your Honor.
So you're saying that even for a few seconds, if it's in your glove, it's under your control, because that's an important part of this case. If it's under your control, then you're going to win. If it's not under your control, then it wasn't your ball.
I know I had it, and all these people
Just pick up that glove again one more time. All right. Now, let's pretend your fist is the, show me how long it was in there.
It came up, I mean, it was there, and then all these people just, and it just fell out.
Okay, did you fall down?
I did. And
Okay. Did you reach for the ball?
I tried.
Okay.
People were stepping on my hands. It was crazy.
And then that's when it kept rolling.
It just kept rolling.
Did you know the other people in the stands? Were they with you?
No.
No? And had you ever been involved in like a fight with any of them?
Nothing like this. Nothing
But
like
I mean
this.
them. Was there anybody there you were fighting with?
No. No, it just seemed like everybody just came at me when the ball came.
You were minding your own business. Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
So happy I was getting the ball hit toward me from Schmidt.
yeah, I wonder what the odds were that you caught the ball
I got lucky.
that Mike Schmidt hit.
I got lucky.
Yeah, apparently, well, if you were lucky, you had have the
True.
ball.
It's supposed to be the brotherly love here, you know?
Well, I could see that you are a Phillies fan.
Absolutely.
But should I take that in consideration?
Definitely, Your Honor.
Well, wasn't everybody there a Phillies fan, or maybe
No,
not?
there was some that weren't.
The people that wanted the ball, do you think they wanted it for money?
I
Or you
think
think
so.
they wanted it because they like Mike Schmidt?
It could have been a little bit of both.
Did anybody say anything to you?
There was a lot of cursing, a lot of carrying on. There was just so much going on, Your Honor. The only thing I was concentrated on was that ball, and it was gone.
Did you turn and yell at anybody and say, "What are you doing?" or anything like that?
I did. I started just shouting some profanities. I was upset. I mean,
Okay. So you were shouting obscenities.
yeah, I was
All right.
upset.
Mr. Rogers, welcome to my neighborhood, all right?
Thank you, Judge, Your Honor.
Tell me a little bit about what happened that day. You went to the game, obviously.
It was a very special game. Schmidt he was up to bat. It was a very special, one of his
What, break a record?
break a record for an average or whatever. And I know he hit the ball in a certain spot, so I tried to get in that area. I was sitting there enjoying the game. I stood up, I had a hot dog, I was relaxing. The game, it was beautiful out. And he came up to bat and he hit the ball, and it started coming in my direction. And I never saw Mr. Correale do anything he said. I never saw the ball going to his glove.
Did you know him before?
No, not at all. I've never met him prior to that day.
Did you see him with the baseball glove?
No, I didn't see any of that, Your Honor. I didn't see anything he said. I don't know what he's talking about. I was standing there. I stood up to adjust my seat and everything, and I had my drink and my hot dog, and I was enjoying the ball. The ball just rolled to me, right to my feet. The ball rolled right to my feet. So I bent down, I picked it up, I looked at it, and I held it up in the air. And I guess there was people with cameras.
There was a guy videotaping, and I saw the very short video, and I saw that you did not get involved.
No,
with
I wasn't
pushing him.
I wasn't involved in that at all. I didn't even know that happened. I held the ball up and I stuck it in my pocket. Next thing I know, there was some people from the stadium came down and escorted me up to the office, and then they put the ball in the safe, and they gave me a receipt for it, and it's my ball, you know.
Well, I guess it was like in the casino. I guess if you win something, they come and take big, and they come and take it, because that ball was going to be worth something like a couple $100,000.
Well,
Did you know that at the time?
I did know it was going to be a big prize, but I'm not selling the ball. I want it for myself, for my family, for my boy.
Well, why do you want it?
Because I'm a big Phillies fan. I may not have the shirt on or nothing like, but I'm a big, huge Phillies fan.
Oh, I couldn't tell because,
I mean, come on.
Mr. Mike Schmidt Jr. is
Let's go
here in his
Phillies.
outfit, and I didn't know. But you've been to other Philly games then.
Many, many games.
So you knew about where to stand?
I did. I know he hits in a certain spot, so that's why I positioned myself there. And like I said, it rolled right to my feet. I don't know what happened prior to that, but the ball rolled right to my feet. I dropped my drink, and I reached down, I picked it up, and I held it up, and I put it in my pocket. And not even a minute later, a couple of people from the stadium came down, escorted me up to the office.
So, well, how did they know you? Because you showed the video camera?
No, I just held it up, and I guess they were asking people, and people started pointing to me, and they walked over and said, "Did you get the ball?" And I said, "Yep." And they said, "Would you come with us up to the office?" And what did they say? Possession's 9/10 of the law, Your Honor, and I have the ball.
Well, you have the ball, but what I want to know is, if I give the ball to you, am I not encouraging fan violence? Because then people will be pushing other people to get like a ball that's hit into the stands, and whoever gets it.
Your Honor, I didn't participate in any of that. I was very calm. I was excited after the ball. I was elated when I got the ball, but I had nothing to do with the so-called whatever happened.
No, I saw on the video there was
Mr.
like
Correale said. I don't know what, I never seen a video, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it, Your Honor, but listen, the ball rolled right to me. I picked it up. Nobody tackled me. I dropped my drink, but nobody tackled me. I picked the ball up. I picked my ball up, and I put it in my pocket.
Well, everybody left him alone, but they were pushing you. Why was that? You're the one with the glove.
It was in my glove, Your Honor.
Yeah.
It was
But
right
you
here.
got the ball.
But
you
I ended
didn't,
up with it, Your Honor.
because the ball rolled to you,
Rolled right to it hit my feet. It rolled right to my feet.
and nobody else tried to grab it.
Nobody.
At that point.
Nobody. It was just my good fortune. It was good luck.
Did you hear the noise that was going on and the scene around him? Did you see him? You didn't see him?
No, I didn't see him at all. And the stadium was so loud, and when he hit the ball, I mean, it was everybody was yelling. I didn't hear any of what was going on. Like I said, I'll take your word that you saw a video, Your Honor, but I didn't see anything. All I saw was that ball hit my feet, my boots, and I picked it up, and like I said, I held it to the camera. I was smiling, and I put it in my pocket.
All the video showed was that he was pushed. It didn't show you at all. That's why you didn't see it. It showed that there were a lot of people around him, but you were not one of them.
No, I wasn't in close proximity to him at all. I really don't know where he was, but all I know is the ball came rolling right down the aisleway. Boom.
Okay, well, I have a concern about encouraging fan violence. Do you feel you controlled the ball?
I did. I grabbed it with my hand and I held on to it. Once I had it in my possession, I had it in my hand. It didn't fall out of my hand. It didn't bounce. I picked it up. I showed it to everybody. I controlled the ball and I put it in my pocket.
So
nobody
had
attacked me or anything.
You had it in your possession until you actually went up in with the management people.
The management, yes, sir.
And then you gave it to them voluntarily. Nobody took it from you.
No, they asked me. They said we want to put it in for safekeeping.
One last question about how long from the time you held the ball till you gave it to management.
By the time they came down and I walked up, I probably had the ball, and they talked to me. Probably about a good 15, 20
Okay,
minutes.
so you had the ball all that time.
The whole time.
All right, what I have to do now is I'll consult the law. We'll take a very brief recess. I'll come back, I'll make a decision, and then we'll call our next case. So we're temporarily in recess. Okay, we're back in session. In the case of the baseball, the Major League Baseball owned that baseball. Once it left the pitcher's hand, it was like a wild animal. Nobody owned it. Whoever got possession of that ball was going to become the owner. You definitely had possession of the ball temporarily, but you didn't maintain possession long enough that you could keep the ball. Through no fault of yours, you did not really control the ball. So in that respect, you did not have legal possession. You, on the other hand, had nothing to do with the reason he dropped the ball. So based on those facts, my ruling is for the defendant. Case dismissed. Court is in session. Case number 2 on the docket is the case of a school bus. We have a police officer and we have a driver who allegedly went by a school bus and didn't stop. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your case, what happened?
Thank you, Your Honor. It was my first day on the job, and I was chosen by the city to serve and protect, and I was taking a mid-afternoon break, and I noticed a school bus pulled up along Main Street. And I thought it was odd because it was the middle of the day, so I was really focused on why this bus was on Main Street in the middle of the day, and I wasn't sure if there were students on it. All of a sudden, I saw a white SUV, it was a Mercedes, come zooming by, didn't stop, didn't yield. There could have been students walking off that bus. I activated my lights, I followed the white Mercedes. She finally pulled over, and when she pulled over, I walked up to the car.
Very rudely.
In a professional manner, and
Rudely.
I said, "Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?" To which she countered that I was harassing her and that I only pulled over because she had out-of-state plates. Your Honor, I pulled her over because she was going fast past the speed bump with no regard to the bus.
Because I'm from Jersey.
Okay, you'll get your chance. Let me ask you a question. You were a police officer,
I am a police officer.
and were you in uniform?
I was in uniform.
So when you activated your lights,
Yes.
okay, I thought that from what I read in the paperwork, did the school bus driver come out and yell at her or something like that?
The school bus, he beeped the horn, and it was a school, it's a big yellow bus, and I think they're the same in each state. We are told to pull over for those and slow down. She had no regards to anything around her. It was her driving down the street, and I thought it was reckless. I was worried about not only the students on that bus, but other walkers and pedestrians at that time.
So describe the bus though. It's a traditional school bus. It wasn't a mini bus.
It was a big yellow school bus, the kind that
Big
you
white, pretty
see
plane. Looks like a big tic tac.
Okay, you'll get your turn.
Everywhere you see a school bus, this was the typical school bus. It was parked on Main Street. It was bigger than any other vehicle on the street. She had to miss a bus. I wonder what else she was missing, to tell you the truth. And it got me a little nervous. So I did activate my lights. I pulled over. When she finally pulled over, she attacked me. I was doing my job. My
She
job
didn't
is to serve and
physically
protect.
attack you.
Verbally?
Verbally?
Very belligerent.
What was the first thing you said to her?
I said, "Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?"
What did she say?
Yes, because I have out-of-state plates. Did you
know that did you see out-of-state plates on the
Once I went
car?
into pursuit, I did know that she had out-of-state plates. That's not the reason I would have ever started to go after the assailant.
Had you done any other arrests that morning or afternoon?
That morning, I just had a typical a neighborhood argument.
First day on the job?
It may be my first day on the job, but I'm a professional. I was trained, but I followed all the necessary protocol to get through this. I have Act 48 training. I've gone through the police academy. I may be my first day, but it's not my first time
Okay,
involved.
both of you talk to me. Did the school bus
Did you
have
watch
its
all the
lights
police
on?
academy
okay,
movies?
You're going to get your turn in a minute.
One to whatever.
You're going to get your turn in a minute.
Citizens on patrol.
All right. You're going to get your turn in a minute. Did the school bus have its lights on?
It was pulled over, and it was just at that point it was pulled over. It didn't have the stop part off yet, but the red lights were on.
Red lights were on.
Yes.
No kids were getting off.
No
at the
kids were
time.
getting off, and
So nobody was in immediate danger.
Nobody was in immediate danger. It's just that the bus pulled in an angle, and the first thing it did was put on its lights, at which time the white Mercedes zoomed by. It was like a flash.
I'm not OJ.
It just caught me off guard because I just could not believe that she did not stop.
Are you sure that you stopped the car that went by the school bus?
I'm positive I stopped the car. There was nobody else. Even though it was Main Street, middle of the day, there was only one white SUV, a big yellow school bus, and there were some pedestrians because it was
Okay.
lunchtime.
All right, now you've been anxious to talk.
Yes, Your Honor.
So let me hear from you.
Don't roll
First
your
of
eyes at
all,
me.
talk to me. Tell me a little bit about what happened. You were driving.
First of all,
Where do you live?
I live in New Jersey.
Okay, but we were not in
It's
New
not
Jersey.
the Keystone State, but it's
Okay.
close. The Garden State's
Talk
just
to
as
me.
good. Okay.
Talk to me.
I was in the area to speak to a church youth group, as a matter of fact. I've never been in trouble before, Your Honor.
Were you on time? You weren't late for this group?
No. I admit I don't know the streets because I'm not from Pennsylvania. And I was looking for an address, but if there was a big yellow school bus there, I think I would have seen it.
So what you're saying?
Would I have thought that?
You're saying you didn't see it, or
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
there?
I saw a school bus. No, I think she's lying.
You think the police officer is not telling the truth?
I do. It was her first day on the job. She's wearing stripes. Perhaps she should be the one that's in the clink.
All right, well,
And it's the holiday season, so I was helping people. You're supposed to be helping people, not harming and harassing people. So I'm up here from Jersey because my cousin Vinny lives here, my cousin Teresa, my cousin Angela, my cousin Carmela, my uncle Junior, and we were all going to collect toys for Tots.
They weren't all in your car.
Yes, no.
Not all at once.
No.
All right. Well, now when she pulled you over, what did she say to you?
She said, you didn't stop for a school bus. I said, I didn't see any school bus. There was no school bus. You're harassing me because I'm from Jersey, because I have out-of-state plates. And I don't know if she thought she was going to be a big shot by pulling over somebody from a different state.
Do you know if you
Game
were
on.
Do you know that how do you know she even saw that you had Jersey plates? You had them in the front and back, right?
Yes. I
All
think
right.
she thought
But
she was trying to chase OJ in a white Bronco, but it was a white Mercedes.
Well,
A little different.
were you speeding?
No, I was not.
Well, look at me now.
Don't
Talk to
laugh
me.
at me.
Talk to me. She's a police officer, all right? You talk to me.
Okay.
So you
I've never been in
basically
trouble.
you don't want to have to pay this fine.
No, I would rather use the money to donate to charity for the holiday season.
Well, I mean, I can't consider that. You could donate to charity all you want, but I mean, I can't make a decision based on money going to charity.
Okay. Could you make a decision on the fact that this one over here was very rude and very arrogant?
That would not be a decision, no. The decision that I have to make is whether or not you violated the law by going by a school bus that had its red lights on, and that's what I'm trying to find out. Did you see any school bus or any red lights? You saw
I
the
didn't
red lights
see any
that
school
she
bus.
had, right?
There was no school bus. She's harassing me.
Did she have her lights on her car when she pulled you over?
I don't recall.
Okay, so you don't know if you saw those either.
I don't recall.
Do you wear glasses?
I do.
Yeah. Did you have them on when you were driving?
I don't need them to drive, just to read, Your Honor.
So you didn't have them on?
No.
All right. Do you think if there was a school bus, having the glasses on would have helped you?
No, because I think I could see a big, huge yellow school bus.
I would have thought that too, Your Honor.
Okay.
But if a dragon flies down, do you think I'm going to see that?
Okay, so you were looking around, right?
Yes, because I couldn't figure out the address. I needed to find the address where I was going to drop off all of the toys. We're helping the homeless, and Toys for Tots at this time of year is a good thing. And I was doing my civic duty and was pulled over and harassed.
So you didn't know the area?
No, I did not.
You did not know the area. Is there anything you want to add?
Your Honor, I would like to add that whether or not she knew the area should not play into this at all. A big yellow school bus, it is something that we're taught in every manual. Even when you
Please.
get your driver's license, there are protocols. And if you're really truly concerned about the children, you'd be concerned about their safety and welfare as well.
This is an unusual case because
This is an unusual woman.
I will strike that. A school
strike
bus is
something.
large, and now the question is, you're saying there was a school bus, and you're saying there wasn't a school
not a
bus.
school
So
bus.
I'm going to take a couple minutes here and think about this testimony, and then I'll come back and make a ruling. Court is in session. Based on the testimony before me, if I believe you that there was no school bus, then I have to conclude that the police officer on the first day of her job was lying. However, I can make a decision based on the fact that there was a school bus, she saw it, you're new to the area, you're looking around, you're going to Toys for Tots, that's great. But if I find that way, I could say that you're both telling the truth, you just didn't see the bus. So my ruling is judgment for the police.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's my pleasure to introduce District Justice Daniel O'Donnell, and we appreciate that as his public education that he allows us use of his courtroom. So welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Judge, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to invite you here and film your show. Being a Phillies fan, the first case was interesting, and I was surprised that the plaintiff in the case did not win.
The guy with the baseball glove.
Yes.
Well, it was a tough case, and it's based on a real case that happened in San Francisco with Barry Bonds, and the exact same facts happened. Now, in that case, the judge kind of felt sorry for the first guy, and he gave the ball to both of them, told them to divide the money. But then what happened was Barry Bonds hit another home run. Their ball became meaningless. They got no money, and they lost all the lawyers' fees. But the reason I decided the way I did was I didn't want to encourage fan violence by pushing and shoving. But more importantly, the law says there was an 1800 case where a guy was hunting a fox, and he didn't get the fox under his control, but he almost caught it. And he had worked for hours to catch this fox. And another guy comes and catches the fox and takes it. And the judge said the second guy was the one that got it under his control. So in our case, it was the second man that actually got the ball under his control. The bus case, what do you think about that?
Well, being a former police officer, it's hard, to contest the testimony of a law enforcement officer unless you can prove otherwise. So I felt it was a pretty solid case.
Yeah, the way I look at it now, when we decide cases, as you know, we don't believe a police officer just because they're a police officer. But in this case, what happened was there was no motive for the police officer. The first day on the job, didn't know the lady. There was no motive to lie. And number two, the way I decided was I could believe the lady, I could believe them both. In other words, if I took the defendant's point of view that there was no bus, that means the officer's lying. And I had no reason to believe that the officer was lying. On the other hand, the way I decided it, I believed the officer, and I also believed the lady. She just didn't see the bus. She was from out of the area. She's looking around, didn't see the bus. And that's the way I thought it was best. But again, we always appreciate you making your courtroom available to the public.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to have the Judge Stevens show right here in Butler Township and in our jurisdiction, so you're welcome back anytime.
And I would like to thank SSP TV, Sam Lassant, Tim Novotny for this public service.